Okay, so I suppose in terms of my role, I'm always seeking opportunities to work with community. And I think it was probably 2 years ago there was some expression of interest put out for Girls Talk, Guys Talk. And at that time we had some people from Cohealth come and talk to our Wellbeing team. And we talked about the needs of our students, and often for our students, they, to access sort of mainstream services can be challenging. So I think it was through those discussions that Cohealth said, let us know that yes, they were prepared to work with us. So I think what was really important at that time was we have a number of campuses at our school. We have 500 students. So rather than sort of choose our main campus, we chose a smaller campus in terms of sort of starting the work that we wanted to do. So it was really important at that time to have the campus leader and also a number of teachers involved in those meetings. And really, through sort of those meetings and discussions with Cohealth, it's about sort of having a shared vision, if that makes sense. So it's really about like wanting the best outcomes for young people and families. And Cohealth, went on the journey with us, and I'm sure sometimes, like when there's meetings scheduled at lunchtimes and, the teachers that are meant to be there are coming and going, and like there's incidents with students. But somehow, we've just sort of continued working with each other. It was really important to involve them in when we were successful as the lead school, to involve them in our planning days with our whole leadership team. So we really see them as an equal in terms of the work that we're doing, would be included in our community of practice. And I think too what Georgia and Anna brought was that whenever you had an email or a question, and just up until recently with Georgia, another girl that was doing some work around the 16 days of activism, is, they're a resource. Like, rather than us searching, they will like email and say, are you aware of this? Do you want to include this in the work that you're doing with your students? So, it's just been a really, really positive partnership. And we did meet with Georgia and the other week, and we said we certainly don't want to let go of that partnership, because, community agencies have an access to a whole lot of information that schools can benefit from, and they do bring the bigger picture as well. And I think like you alluded to, like, I'm always very mindful of where the funding for this initiative has come. So for me personally, I don't want to lose sight of that either.
Thank you. Do you want to add anything to that, Georgia?
I think you explained it really well, and I think the shared vision, I guess, is I just wanted to reinforce that point, and I guess within that kind of those clear roles and responsibilities, and I think having the whole leadership team in on that discussion is really important. Like, we had the document, like you have the memorandum of understanding, but I think the conversations is really important to give life and to give shared understanding to that. I guess, just in terms of where we're going, I think, what we've talked about and Therese said is, at the moment it's really, I guess, just still being present in this process as they kind of take this, quite large new initiative on board. And primarily that's through their leadership group and being a kind of critical friend or kind of advisor in a sort of advisory capacity in that group. As well as participating in the community of practices that they have with their partner schools. And we've talked about, in future, there's probably a need, as obviously there's quite a strong focus on curriculum, particularly in the first year, but there'll be a need to support the leadership to make sure that they're not forgetting about the broader action plan that they've developed, and to kind of keep them on track and provide advice on how to implement the other components of their action plan. So that's where, having a community representative will be really good. And I guess in that role, being able to link them in to what's happening within the broader community around preventing violence against women. And I guess the other area we think that there's probably a nice synergy is supporting them with student engagement and student voice, as that was kind of a big focus of the Girls Talk, Guys Talk program, and for Cohealth, we're very passionate about co-design. And so in this context, I think it's really important to have the students really engaged and involved in this process. So that's kind of the other area we think that there's probably a nice synergy where we can kind of support Warringa moving forward.